all for nice moderation and being us for a kind of a time schedule. Before I start my presentation, I just want to tell that I am basically a professor in computer science at HPTI Kanpur, and earlier I was the Vice Chancellor of a distance learning university in Uttarakhand. I established that University of Uttarakhand, that's an Uttarakhand Open University, and now this is my second term in Rajasthan as a university ICT in education. So before that, we start with some of the slides which I have made. I want just to I just want to flag some of the very important points which I thought from yesterday. Just I will take 2 minutes. When Lord Macaulay came and he made this education system for us, he probably thought that we should be more of a clerk rather than kind of an employer. And once we have copied this university system, look into the kind of the dichotomy which today we have yielded. We have got 5 IITs, they were excellent. When we have got now 10 IITs, those other 5 IITs are Class B IITs. This means the model of IITs and IIMs are not very replicable in the things. When we have lesser number of universities, it was good, but when we have got higher number of universities, that model is also not replicable. And it yearns to be me, it looks to me that one of my friends who is a chancellor of a very good university at Delhi was saying yesterday, jokingly, say, look, sir, I have to pay some 20,000 rupees to my driver, but my young engineers are getting 5,000 rupees. And it is still a very, very kind of a dichotomic situation in which we have just landed that an electrical engineer, a computer science people you are getting in 5,000, and an agriculture engineer, while a gardener and electrician you are not getting in 10 to 15,000 rupees. And that's the truth which we are facing upon. And this is really, we have to think really with this kind of a model, really we can lead into another kind of a thing. The other thing which I wanted to flag here, with all the kind of great thing with China and all of the Germany and everything, still with the 65 years of independence, our engineering education, our agriculture education, our management education, we could not make our education in our own language. So still we are disconnecting the people who does not know English with the all kind of science, engineering and technology, who would have been more creative in the villages and who are more kind of a creative people. And with this kind of the language barrier, it's a very sad part of the story. With all the great minds we have, we could not connect those people who can produce really and who are really the backbones of our economy, basically the people from rural background. With these kind of points, I still don't have solutions for these kind of things because these are big questions and these have to be pondered about. I want to show some of the experiments which we have made, and we are a university. I had just tried in these 2 universities using ICT in education. We are a distance learning university where we tried more of this kind. The people are not there with us, and I think we had some success stories to suggest. So this is one of the promises which we can have. All of you know, and we are also trying to do some of the experiments with the MOOCs, massive open online kind of courses. If you look at our website, we have really made some kind of the things in our own languages, meaning vernacular languages, basically in Hindi. The 10 minutes video we have uploaded. This is what we can do with MOOCs, and MOOC is one kind of the thing which is a promise for the university which we can really do. These are ICT for students. I think more of us, all of us have said, but just to put that in one kind of slide, I have put for all of you research, revision, enjoyable and flexible learning, which we can say. Virtual learning is possible, which learn in remote villages. ICT can produce professional looking documents. Science experiments, as Professor Agarwal has said, and we can analyze the data quickly. Unfortunately, most of our universities does not have even automation for the administration. I think this is the simplest thing which we can do. We have seen the solutions from our friend in the corporate. So I have just summarized those things, what we can do for the administration. There are very low cost effective kind of the solutions, and we can use it for education and training. And unfortunately, we are not trying for the free and open kind of a software. There was some friend who jokingly told me that somebody who got a Nobel Prize for some community-driven kind of a thing, when he came and there was nobody to receive in India because she was vouching for free and community kind of a thing. So there was no big house corporates to vouch for that. And similarly is happening for the kind of the free and open software, because there is no corporate and no financial kind of a thing. So the university can really experiment with these low cost solutions. We have experimented with Drupal, we have experimented with Moodle. These are all free kind of a thing. And there are free kind of solutions which are available, but there are, universities can make a consortia, and we can still think of a FOSS kind of a thing, which is an academy for free and open software kind of a thing, where we can really vouch, and I think the technical universities can take a lead. We are also trying to do with this FOSS, one FOSS we are trying to create in our own university. These are the ICT trends, and this is one thing which is very penetrating. We have this many subscribers, this many mobile internet users. Internet uses 10.2% of the population. And the biggest thing is the mobile users, where we have not really tapped. And I think if you ask every student will have mobile today. But the kind of the application we don't have, and the daily density is 73.72%. This is what we have done in last 7-8 months when we joined. From that we have done, we have made the student SMS. This is all made in-house. We have got a web radio with which we webcast, student-centric research website we have done. We have online admissions, SMS alert, video and audio lectures, that's for 10 minutes. And we are using these kind of softwares which are basically free kind of a software. Recently I have put all the material on the web, and we are using these free kind of the solutions for that kind of thing. So this is the simple thing which we have tried. So my thing is that yes, ICT do have a promise, and what Professor Agarwal told me to summarize, all of us agree here in the audience and on the dais that yes, ICT can be a supplementary tool for all of us, and all of us have to experiment. Some of us have to experiment with the consortia, so that what we make, we can give it to you. And ICT do have a promise. One other thing which ICT has done in the last, what I have to say, gone are the days when the universities were important. People were saying that Oxford. With the ICT in place, now people have become important. And in the Indian ethos, this was the very important thing, that the institutions are important, but the people are more important than the institutions. And as the ICT is in place, as you think and as you think anything you can put on the blog, and as you are a person of anonymous, you can have lectures and all other things. So the people are becoming more important with this technology, and as the industrial revolution is over and the IT revolution has come, that's the paradigm shift. Now there is no legacy of the big institutions, the legacy of people are there, and if try and make this in the Indian context. The problem with us, our country, is that we try to copy the solutions from outside. We try to copy the campus solutions from outside. We try to copy e-learning from the solutions. Somebody was telling NPTEL. So NPTEL is very good, it's from the IT professors, but it's not connecting to a person who's living in the village and doing an engineering. So that is what we have to think, that whether we are trying to develop the content in our own language, whether we are trying to connect the person with whom we want to connect. Because while copying the technology, this is a caveat to that, that if you just try to copy blindly, it may not work into the Indian solution. So my last point and last point of summarization is that we have to think flag number one, a university in the Indian context. Because all the models, these models are not very replicable models of the universities or the big institutions. And the second, while we are trying to use ICT, while we are trying to connect the people with our in the Indian context, we have to Indianize the technology in our terms as the other good countries, China and all other things. As we go to China, we all know it's very difficult to get an English browser there. So they are trying to connect with their people. So we have to also connect by using the solutions we have tried. Suppose we have got a plagiarism software. There's no plagiarism software who can just check our thesis in Hindi and all other vernacular languages. And most of our state universities, the PhDs is coming in their own vernacular languages. So that's one problem. We have not made any solution for that. So these are some kind. So that's my last point, to say that we have to think in the Indian context and make this ICT available and Indianize context. Thank you very much.